Tri-Brigade Sprite overcomes some of the craziest field that you can for a regional. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. We have a remote regional breakdown here for top 16, and that is 4 Unchained variants actually swinging in to top 16. That's actually kind of impressive. The best part about that is that number's going to get decreased a lot when you get to top 8. Oof. We also had 3 Flaunderies players. Caca, go the birds. Okay. We also had 2 branded Chimera in 2 tier elements. I mean, that's acceptable, right? Like, that's your typical high representation. Your one-ups, you had Mana DM, you had Rescue Ace, Labyrinth, a Runic Chimera branded deck, and a Tri-Brigade Sprite deck making your top 6. I mean, this is a beautiful top cut. You know, obviously Unchained's kind of running this show, but that's kind of to be expected, as so many people were expecting that to be the better deck. Now, your top 8 here tells a completely different story from the top 16 data. There were 2 tier elements decks putting it as the most represented deck in the top cut, which you're probably like, wait a minute, is that really possible? Yeah, it is. We saw tier take a lot of the format this weekend by storm. A lot of people just were not prepared for the reign of tier to come back, and it's pretty cool. And then we have our Mana DM Duelist, so in top 8 here. You have Rescue Ace, Flaunderies, all right. I see a lot of these shifts here. 1 Unchained, that's 3 Unchained made top 16. Only 1 of them managed to make it into the top 8, which is so crazy. We also had the Runic Chimera branded player, and of course our Tri-Brigade Sprite player ended up winning this event, which tells me just a lot of craziness, honestly. So many cool little things actually were happening for this event. And of course, you know, you'll probably see that second place Mana DM list on Triff's channel because, you know, it's who was playing it. Let's pass it on over to the deck list. All right, so winning our event here was none other than the power of Tri-Brigade Sprite. Yeah, I decided to take a time capsule back about a couple of, you know, months time, you know, making sure that we can dig off the old reliable here. And it managed to go undefeated. You know how crazy that is? If you want enough dice rolls, I feel like obviously the interruption through this, or, you know, the talents, board breaking, you're boarding in this good card to punish your opponent. These, you know, with enough impact, you can do your thing. And of course, typically 2 Tri-Brigade monsters kind of get you to where you need to be. I know a lot of people don't really consider that, but it is amazing. Plus, all your Sprite stuff just sets you up into such a good position. You just have extension after extension after extension with this combo line. And, I mean, most decks, there'll be 2 to 3 negates, sure, but this deck, if every card's an extender, you know, you kind of do outgas your opponent in terms of extension play. I think that's one of the reasons why this deck was so successful. All right, we have... Hi, Rescue Ace. How are you? This deck, I'm so happy to see it's going to evolve here in the future. 1 HQ, pretty standard. We are playing Nibiru and the Ashes. No books in the main deck. Up until, oh boy, the ban list. This deck was playing triple Book of Moon, triple Book of the set everything book. So it's kind of a nice pace to see that this deck could go ahead and rip that out. And we're also seeing Reinforce seeing played on here. Many people tell me they hate this card, but honestly, I think it's fine as a one-of. Alright, if you're really gonna kick it down to the side deck, that's fine, but it does work out. Outside of that, you have the Crows, the Books, the Econs, all of your standard defensive options to make sure you can do your thing. We're also not playing the Firewall extra deck package down here. Oh gosh, Pozimo. Okay, outside of that, interesting little stuff for this list. Oh, hi. Oh. I see we're feeling dangerous today. We're playing some Births in our Tier Elements Kashtira deck. That means that we can play the Unicorns. You know, it has been a little bit of a debate if you should be playing Unicorn in this deck. And to be honest with you, it does give you free, you know, extra deck ripping from the opponent. I would honestly give this some consideration. Like, the card itself, being able to toggle into a Birth, is kind of worth it at the end of the day. And it's, I don't know. It is a few extra pieces that you do kind of have to slap into the deck. And also, you can get some mini zone locking actually going underneath the Shangri-La. Once again, it's not going to feel crazy, but it doesn't have to. It's just got to inconvenience the opponent enough while the rest of the tier cards are generating that extra advantage for you. And maybe, you know, some free Zeus materials. All right. Hey, we have the power of Branded Runic. You know, I think this deck, the whole illusion good stuff with this deck, you know, pinging cards off your opponent's hand with the Chimera, and then using your ungodly advantage engine from this hot pile of insanity to just start picking off the opponent is the reason why this deck is worth playing. It still hasn't really picked up traction. I say that it's still topping, but you're not seeing people running out here going, yeah, today's the day I play this Runic branded Chimera deck. No. You know, the illusion stuff is fun, but other people are looking to other options, or they just don't want to sit through the grind that is Fountain, and I do understand that. But deck is a lot of fun. If you do want to play some fusion synchro or fusion good stuff with the backing of a good draw package, you know, and protecting your big boss monsters, you know, with things like the Coddle, it's definitely fun. What else we got going on back here? Hey, we have some more tier elements for you today. I see that we are main decking the Shaddoll Fusion. Okay, just one, by the way. Honestly, one is fine. I can see the argument for why you might not want to bulk down on too many of these, because, you know, what if you go first and you draw the Shaddoll Fusion and you're looking at your hand like, oh, this is great. You know, I can't actually start the engine and get the deck going. And, of course, a lot of these builds have been playing the Scattershot over the Ladybug. Honestly, you could make an argument for either or. You're going to be trying to mill this anyway, so it just kind of depends on how you want to set up and play. Obviously, you know, Foolish Burials, well, technically can dump this in time. Yeah, it's not going to happen all the time. It's one of the cute little scumbaggier things I feel like you're able to accomplish with this deck, but nothing else too crazy to kind of know. The Shaddoll Fusion is the spiciest thing for this list. Hello, Unchained. We're playing 41 cards. Nothing too crazy to see there. Fenrir's still doing its job in here as per usual. We do see the Book of Moons in the main deck. Once again, you've been seeing a major argument for if you're sticking around with books or if you're kicking them to the side. This build did opt to leave them in the main and also had the Book of Eclipses down here in the side deck as well. And then once again, you see Mistaken Arrest out here showing back up. You know, shutting your opponent off from being able to just toggle for whatever they need to is actually pretty good. And I'm glad to see Pankratops getting a little bit of an honorable mention down here as well. This card is still insane, and it's amazing to me that more people aren't really exploring it. I think it's because it's the status of still limited to one, and it's like, why would I want to play something unsearchable? Well, you know, this good card does, in fact, tell me that argument can be invalid sometimes. There's nothing else too worthy mentioning here. Hey, it's the other side of the equation. So this is we gutted out all of our other good cards, aka ripped out the Runic package, and we're playing illusion good stuff with the branded stuff. And we are playing the Light Hex Seal Fusion. Yep, and somebody didn't want to deal with Nightmare Corruptor Ibley. See, this is what I mean. You need to be prepared for the Nightmare Corruptor Ibley, all right? And it really does show. Also, I also like how we were really prepared for this. You know, take your opponent's Exceed monster here, and then you're like, Zeus, come on down. You know how many people don't really consider this? This duelist was very, 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 very scared of things. Understandable. Have a nice day. If I was playing this deck, I'd be afraid of a lot of things too. That's why we also play the Crossout Designator. This deck gets scared by the scariest hand trap in the world, and it's Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Though, because we are playing the Chimera stuff, we can play through those combo lines and at least, you know, set up the hand ping. And our last list here is, okay, we have Goddess with the Third Eye. I will say that I have really enjoyed the different little fusion things. We also saw Varsago Destroyer out of the YCS. So you are kind of picking whichever little fusion subber that you actually want to play. And it's kind of cool to see that they're all getting some sort of play. It just really depends on, you know, combo lines and what you think is going to be the best opportunity. Also, I mean, this still is a light monster as well, so that's something to really consider. So that's your breakdown out of the remote duel Regional. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on in the day, guys. Peace.
Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.